Hello ladies and gentlemen of StarCraft Nation, Zoe here from StarCraft Squad, bringing you another user-submitted replay. This one is involving the Dark Templar week again. So, spawning in the top right is our user-submitter, BlackRabies. He's a past user-submitter, a cool guy. Hopefully we can see how his play is improved. This is a long game, so we're going to kind of speed through the beginning. And spawning in the bottom left is Delay. So we have a PVT using Dark Templar. Let's see how well this works. So, we're just going to keep an eye on his build order, getting the pylon down on 9, perfect. Building his 10th probe. So I'm going to keep an eye on what he does. I usually like to, when I'm playing Protoss, I put my pylon down at 9, and then whenever I put that pylon down, I send that guy out to scout to do some harassment. So it's to each his own, but that's what I prefer to do. Getting the gateway down, scouting now. Should be putting a gas down soon. 70, there's the gas, so everything's looking fine. So far, he's properly chrono boosting. We're at 16 food. Should be getting that second pylon down. There it is. Good job. Great job so far. Gas is finishing. Should be transferring. Good job. Over here, looks like we're scouting. We see the gas. See the orbital. We see the barracks. So we know nothing's too cheesy. Now we got some little rally point spam going on here. I would have preferably gotten my probe out of there because, of course, he's going to be getting that marine. And now you're walled off and you're going to lose this probe, which isn't good. So now we're getting the second gateway down and the cyber core. So great opening for this. Right now you don't need to be seeing your second gas, about 21, maybe 20. A little bit earlier if you're going Dark Templar, because Dark Templar are heavy on gas. So you're going to want that second gas really quick, but that's fine. Just maybe he wasn't planning on going DT right off the bat. So we did steal this gas. Good little harassment. Forces them to go multiple barracks play. And then I'm getting a little bit of lag, but that's fine. So we got the second gas going. Third pylon now. We're not supply blocking stuff. We stopped making probes for a second, which I don't like. You need to constantly be making probes. Getting the stalkers. I want to get the stalker on that zealot or that SCV. Now we haven't built a probe in a while. We haven't transfer guided the gas. We're starting to slip up just a little bit there. Need to be making constant SCV pro production, guys. Constant pro production, finally transferring gas, finally getting more guys in, using chrono boost, but we're not building probes right now, so this chrono boost is being wasted. So make sure you're constantly building probes. Every second of every game, you be making a probe until you're sitting on 70, 80 probes and you don't need any more. So constantly building probes, build. Warp gate's almost finished. Chrono boost is being used. Should be able to make these warp gates soon. Looking at the mini map, guys, still no Dark Templar play going on. Getting that forge for +1. We got the Twilight Council though. So now we've got the hidden tech. Charge is being researched. So we're going charge lot. So we're not planning on going DTs yet. Looks like we're going to be getting a late game Dark Templar. Right now we look in the opponent's base. We have 3 racks going down. Engineering bay. Oh, that's a factory as well. So we got 3 racks in a factory. So he's going pretty heavy force. Now the opponent's expand. We're getting that +1 weapon. Look at this. We're not building any more probes, guys. We need to be constantly building probes. We go to the income tab. We have 25 harvesters versus 25. You should be ahead of Terran. You have to be ahead of Terran. Let me pause this so I can explain this, guys. You have to be ahead of Terran. Now, for you to wonder, know why. When you're chrono boosting, you need to be ahead because you're going to be pumping out SCVs harder or probes harder. So you should have that lead on them if you're constantly chrono boosting and constantly building probes. The reason you want more than Terran is, okay, you see 25 versus 25, good. That means our economy is the same. No, mules are a shitload of income. This increases your economy so hard. If we go to the income tab, yeah, it's obvious, 1080 versus 680, just because he's got 2 mules down. Yeah, so constantly build probes. You need to be ahead of the Terran player, so make sure you're constantly building probes. +1's quarter of the way done, getting that charge. Early charge is always nice. Charge lots destroy Marines. Too bad we have a lot of Marauders here, but charge lots are still pretty good against Marauders, so that's good. We got this gateway sitting right here that's not being, warped, so we need to make that a warp gate. We are expanding, which is good. Way to get a economic lead because he hasn't expanded, so why not? You should expand as well. When you expand, you always want to put a pylon down right outside your expansion, though, just in case an attack comes. You can warp in units to it. So make sure you expand and instantly put a pylon down. Back to the production tab. No Dark Templars yet. Getting some sentries. He's got a Robo Bay. We're going to use the Observer to scout. I'm probably going to see that he's got, nothing to stop us from getting Dark Templars. I mean, he's got the 1 base for the scans. Do we have an engineering bay? Yes, we do have an engineering bay, but no turrets are down, so hopefully we can use Dark Templar to advantage. Expansion's almost finished. We're going to see transfer probes very soon. +1 weapons done. We're getting +2. Awesome. Observer's almost finished. Charge is done, and we got the DT shrine being built. Right over here, good placement. Most Terrans at this point in the game will scan over here. Not really over here. Don't want to, who cares about the mineral line? So that's a good DT placement. So here comes the observer. Now this is where I'm probably going to slow it down. We're not going to watch it on ×2 anymore. Just going to keep an eye. So right now we have a warp prism on the way. I'm going to take a note of this. Neither base is building probes right now. Make sure you're constantly building probes, guys. Constantly building probes. Progress in that +2 out. We got warp gates that aren't being used. They can all be used right now. Warp prism on the way. But look, no probes being built. Harvester count, 36 versus 31. Should be about 45 versus 31 at this point. Make sure you're constantly building probes. Back to the production tab. Dark Templar Shrine is being finished. Observer sees this pretty beastly army of Marines and Marauders. The best way to stop it is with Dark Templar. Now we do have a couple turrets down in the base, but none with the army, so we can do a big chunk of damage here as long as he doesn't have scans. So, still got a heavy zealot force here. Look how many zealots that is. Starting to build probes again, but he's rallying both over here. We need to get that second gas down right now. Warping in 4 Dark Templars. Probably need to throw down a couple more gateways. Warp Prism is finished. Getting lots more gateways. That's awesome. Second weapon upgrade's almost finished. Getting pretty close to supply walking count. If you look at the food count, it's 96 versus 91. So food count is extremely even. Now, I'm going to pause it real quick, and we're going to go to Delay's vision. He does not know we have Dark Templar. This is all he's seen. So, good for us, but he's still, for some reason, I guess he just assumes you're going Dark Templar for some reason. Or he's just paranoid. So, we do have the turrets down, which is not going to be that great for us. Hopefully, we can do a little bit more with that. So, the observer did get seen. Now, the best way to use Dark Templar, I'm going to pause real quick. The best way to use Dark Templar is as a diversionary attack. So right now, what you would want, maybe have a proxy panel over here. If not, that's fine. You walk your Dark Templars over here, and then you don't bring your main force, the Dark Templars with your main force. Like maybe 1 or 2 in the main force, or maybe like 2 or 3 in the main force and have 1 over here. But what you want to do is get 1 in the supply lines. 1 here when you attack them. Now let's see if BlackRabies does this. Getting ready to move up another attack. We have lots of charge lots, a few Dark Templars, but right now I'm kind of worried that this army's going to be a little bit too big for BlackRabies to handle. We'll have to see. So we're going to speed up a little bit, wait for the engagement. We're building 3 more gateways right now on the production tab. We're getting +1 armor finally. So going heavy gateway build right now. Now Warp Prism using the warp in more stalkers. More supply block though, which isn't good. So right now we have 107 food versus 98. He's getting ready to move out. Maybe they see each other, maybe not. But right now, this is the perfect time, guys. You want to send in those DTs and like just destroy his mineral line. When he sends his army back to stop it, you cut him off with this bastard. So armies see each other. Not good though. All your charge lots went this way. I mean, bad surround. You want to get your guys over there. And this attack went horribly bad for BlackRabies. No scan though. These Dark Templars are doing lots of damage. So fail on the Terran player's part. Needs to get that scan. Look at this. 42, 45, just not getting a scan, killing those DTs. So, you want to treat DTs like a drop. They're a form of harassment. I mean, they are okay in your main army. Of course, it's what saved you this fight, was those DTs. He didn't scan fast enough and lost half of his army to the Dark Templar. But what you mainly want to have done is, when you engage right here, and don't engage like that, you know, all your charge lots went for 3 guys down here instead of the huge army over here. What you want to do instead is you use a diversionary attack. That's how most Terrans do great against protoss is they attack with a force at the front, and then they do a drop here and here. They double drop them. So what you want to do is you want to send a DT right here, send a DT right here. Double DT, 1 in each mineral line, and then you have a couple in your main army. And yeah, so you want to use them as, you know, a form of harassment, not a force in your army. Because if you want the force in your army, you're just going to want a shitload of charge lots at this point. So look how bad these charge lots are destroying this army. So we need to get this Warp Prism out of here before we lose it. And right now, if we look at our base, we don't really have anything. Let's look at our Chrono Boost. 100 energy, 100 energy. Let's look at the income tab. 41 harvesters. We should be about 60, 70 harvesters at this point. A lot more harvesters than that. We're sitting on 2,100 minerals. We're obviously not using our Warp Gate every time it's up. We should expand again at this point. Got a pretty beastly force coming at this point, so that's not that great for us. Gonna speed it up a little bit. We're getting a Robo Bay for some Colossus. Good choice. Got a little bit of engagement here. Now, the thing about... Let's pause it real quick before this fight. The thing about Dark Templars is, the thing about Banshees is, people go them, the thing fails, and they stop using them. Now, I'm assuming BlackRabies is still going to use them, and but if he doesn't, you go at tech, you can still use it the entire game. It doesn't mean you have to commit to it, but you can still use it the entire game. You can keep poking with Banshees, you can keep poking with Dark Templar. Like I said, his whole army is over here, guys. You put one DT here, you put one DT here, you kill so many SCVs, and then you just randomly throw in DTs. You know, when he's moving out with his huge army, you use your DTs as a form of harassment, as a drop. Oh, like literally, his huge army's out here. You have one DT here, one DT here. What's he gonna do? He's only got so many scans. I mean, he does have the turrets down to defend that, but still, you would still get lots of kills at the cost of what, 2 DTs? So it's definitely worth it to use it as a revenge effect. Now, he's doing a lot of kiting of your units. Standard Terran play. Warping in a lot more charge loss. Good choice here. Now we're still sitting on 1,800 minerals right now, guys. We want to expand, not getting another upgrade. We got finally Robo Bay done. I want to be building that Colossus immediately. Income tab still 43 harvesters. We need to constantly building probes, guys. You want about 80 at this point. So we got a huge force coming to your expansion right now. You always want to have like a pylon place right here so you can see this type of thing. And you always want to pylon at your expansion because when this attack comes, you can't warp in units right here. Going to be losing lots of probes right now. Look at our harvester count just drop. We went to 32 there. So now we're really behind on the harvester count. And we're losing this base because you didn't have a proxy